things going on in the world around us. I'm actually here to talk about a bunch of things. The primary topic of this video is Philadelphia's recent ruling, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, to share these random rants I have about random things going on in the world around us, as I continue to say, are kind of therapeutic for me, because in a way it helps me vent about things that are internally bothering me. In another way, it kind of helps me think. It helps me voice my opinion, and in a way I wouldn't normally be able to, because normally people interrupt me because they're like, "You're talking too much," or "You're racist." I do live in the Bay Area, so I often, the Silicon Valley and California's Bay Area, northern California, actual Northern Californians will say Central California's Bay Area. It's not really, it's somewhere upper middle. Anyways, so to get to the ruling and then how I feel about it, because I've kept you waiting long enough. Philadelphia just ruled, or just came out with a law that store owners can no longer have bulletproof glass on whatever legal bounds, on whatever legal ruling, whatever the legal basis is. It doesn't make any sense. It just says, in all the articles I've read, it's to be more sensitive to those who are of the minority, those more sensitive to minorities, because bulletproof glass is somehow racist. I don't give a shit who you are. If you are in my store and you were trying to hold me at gunpoint, I don't care what color your skin is, I'm going to wish I had bulletproof glass then. And if I found out one of my employees, I don't work in, obviously, own any stores in Philadelphia, but imagine if Philadelphia goes and takes down all this bulletproof glass in all these dangerous neighborhoods. Imagine being the store owner that has to answer to the family of the employees who potentially have been shot, why they had to take down the bulletproof glass. And imagine how many people are like, "Oh yes, the bulletproof glass is down in that one store that was racist, so let's go hit that store that we've always wanted to hit but we couldn't hit before because the bulletproof glass is up." And here's what's so stupid about the whole thing. The law was presented originally by the neighborhood safety committee. Isn't it the opposite of safety that you're now forcing store owners to take down bulletproof glass? And what grounds are there to tell a store owner, like, "Oh, you can't have bulletproof glass because racism"? It's so absurdly stupid. It kind of gives me a headache. But it really reminds it's a story I'm hearing over and over and over again nowadays. Is protect people from feelings above everything else. It's similar to the Catherine Steneel case that I recently ranted about on YouTube. Is the guy who shot her? Well, he didn't mean to shoot her. He just shot the gun 3 times, and she just ended up dead. So he shouldn't go to jail for manslaughter, because it's racist to imprison anyone who's illegal. It's like, come on, what are we? This is the United States of America. This isn't some kindergarten as to where we. And even in kindergarten, I don't remember my feelings being protected that much. I mean, I was 6 years old, 5 years old. I was 5 years old. but I was never in school. I guess I missed the millennial boat. I'm technically still a millennial, but I'm like 30 next year, so I missed all the safe spaces when I went to college. But to wrap this up, I just really want to share this important fact that government seems to be missing. And first, I will just state, yes, government's extremely inefficient, annoyingly inefficient, and often creates terrible messes because of their stupidity. Great example, the Silicon Valley, the overall Bay Area, all like 10 million of them, however many there are now, is going through a really serious housing crisis. And the whole state of California is actually, but where it's like worst is the Bay Area, where the housing, you can't find a house for less than like $500,000. And everyone's just moving out and driving like 3 hours to work because can't get a home or even an apartment in most cities. But to alleviate this, like 5 years ago, there was a condominium development proposed that would have housed like between 10 and 20,000 people, a big chunk of a population of whatever city it was going to end up in. That was slated, as I mentioned, 5 years ago, but they turned it down initially because of the Sierra Club saying, there's too much glass in the building, it's gonna kill too many birds. Okay, now we have 2016 had the highest per capita homeless death in the city of San Jose, which is considered like the capital of the Silicon Valley. Yet you are saying, let's not build 20,000 places where you can house families. Let's not build that because we want to protect birds. Now, 5 years later, that finally passed last night. Finally passed. But now you got to construct it. So it's going to be another like 3 to 5 years without that housing. This is government, everyone. These are the idiots that are often causing the problems in our country. And honestly, no one wants to invest in residential in the Bay Area right now because it has such a high amount of contractors, and it has such a high amount of contractors because government gets in the way and says don't build these houses because birds and employees don't want to stay here because I want a house and the kids and a dog and a backyard, and none of that's here, so I'm leaving. Oh, government, fuck you, government, and every government, but just Philadelphia, what the fuck? Pardon my French, I'm just so tired of idiots who are ruining this country. It's often sitting behind the dais of city councils, making terrible decisions that are endangering people. But to wrap it up, again, I said 2 minutes ago I'll wrap it up, but here's what I really want to talk about because this relates absolutely. To talk a little bit about my life and today I really wanted to put this video up because I had a pretty stressful day. I have a coworker who's out of the office because he's he's on vacation for Christmas, which is soon, and I'm understanding why he's stressed in his workplace because there's a lot going on that I didn't know about, and I'm realizing also, it's my issue too, because the way I generally carry myself is I generally am accommodating. And I've just been accommodating what I think is a system that can absolutely be improved. And I realize that in order to make significant change, and this isn't just like work situations, this is also in your everyday life. Not just with work, as I've mentioned, but also with like helping people. In order to make significant change, sometimes you have to stand for something. In order to stand for something, you have to be kind of a jerk. You have to be firm, and you have to not waver, and you have to have some sort of actionable presentation of things. And sometimes that sounds like mansplaining, or sounds like, if you're a woman, sounds like you're a bitch or whatever. But it's in those moments that really define you. Are you going to keep allowing stuff to be broken, or are you going to help fix it? And I think California is a great example of people, and Philadelphia in this case, of people being overly accommodating. They don't see the forest through the trees. Maybe people never learned that you can't always be accommodating. And maybe in city councils, it is hard to make those decisions, because you are faced with people who are constantly at your door complaining about something. And sometimes you feel divided, but it's, I think, a city council's job to do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is going to upset the people knocking at your door. And maybe often liberals who maybe could have built a housing project 5 years ago, which would have helped with the homelessness problem in the Bay Area and the traffic problem in the Bay Area. Maybe if they had learned to not be as accommodating, and maybe learned to make those hard decisions. Man, I had a better point there, but my point is, again, that all these issues we're seeing in government are from people wavering, maybe on their beliefs, or maybe feeling like they need to accommodate some sort of minority quota, or some sort of... Because I feel like government action in liberal cities generally leans towards helping some sort of group which is portrayed as a victim. Last thought on Philadelphia. I think what has happened is you had too many people knocking at the door of these Mountain View... I work in Mountain View, sorry. Too many people knocking at the door of these Philadelphia city council members saying, you need these bulletproof glass removed because I feel discriminated against, and I need this changed because I'm unsafe, and you need to change it. Eventually someone's gonna crack and present something, or maybe someone came to the safety committee and the safety committee had a beautiful presentation. Maybe the safety committee had been pushing those buttons for a long time, but it's the job of city council and the mayor to do what's best for the city. And if I were a store owner in a dangerous neighborhood in Philadelphia, I honestly would just move out, because I want what's best for my employees. My customers, especially if I'm just selling stuff like DVDs or food. My customers are my income, but if it's not safe for everyone there, especially my employees, it's not worth it. So why would I want to take the risk then? So now what we may see is an exodus from city council. Not city council, sorry. See, it's tired. I had a day. I'll just say that. Maybe we'll just see a mass exodus of business owners from Philadelphia, which sucks because Philadelphia is a beautiful city. And beautiful cities deserve businesses and deserve safety for their citizens. Anyways, that one was a little more all over the map. If you watch this, spot me a like. I see I already got one added viewer. Whoever you are, thanks for watching. On the original live stream I posted. I didn't mean to break the fourth wall there. And you know what I want to do? I want to do at least one of these a week. We'll see if I can do that. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.